I've seen people go from the darkest moments in their lives to living a happy, fulfilling life. You can do it too. I believe in you. You are not a burden. You will never be a burden. Sophie Turner. Hello, today I'm going to introduce the issues that plague our current society that affect so many people living on this planet. It is about anxiety and depression. The issue of anxiety and depression affects many people around the world. The issue is very common and most people could relate to it. I haven't been diagnosed with anxiety disorders or depression personally, but I have experienced anxiety and it has led me to worry about the littlest of things and has stopped me from doing things that would otherwise be beneficial to me, such as social events and relationships. I feel that I'm a very shy person and that stops me from either hanging out with friends, going to parties, or going sometimes even anywhere that has too many people. And I feel like I need to work on that and I need help with my anxiety to for me to better manage it. That is why I'm going to introduce to you the charity, the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, the ADAA. This speech about depression, anxiety, and the important role of the ADAA in helping requires your helpful support towards donating to that charity. For example, the problem, let's go into anxiety and depression. About 4 in 10 adults in the US alone and over 300 million adults globally, worldwide, suffer from anxiety. These numbers are taken from the studies done by the World Health Organization, the WHO, as recently as 2021. Anxiety trends only keep growing and they get worse as times go on. There's also a stigma kind of surrounding the mental health and cultural beliefs that affect how people deal with anxiety or depression. Studies done by the National Library of Medicine, the NIH, has shown rapid increases of anxiety and depression among young adults from 2008 to 2018. Although the cases of anxiety disorders aren't exactly known, it is suspected that it comes down to these specific causes, which are chemical imbalances such as experiencing a lot of stress over a long period of time changes your mood for the long term, and this leads you to developing anxiety disorders. Other factors are environmental, such as mental trauma and the environment that you surround yourself in. And lastly, it's more genetic, inherited traits from your parents. Anxiety does kind of run in families, and they have done studies on this, such as the Cleveland Clinic, which has presented this information. They are a nonprofit academic medical center, and according to an NIH journal named Mental Health, Culture, Race, and Ethnicity, culture has influenced how people deal with anxiety, and it dictates whether people selectively present symptoms in a culturally appropriate way, in ways that won't reflect badly on them. For instance, studies have shown that Asian parents tend to report somatic symptoms, that is, physical symptoms, first, and then describe emotional afflictions when further questioned or asked more specifically. This shows a kind of idea that certain ethnicities, certain countries, certain people have. And this leads to individuals either uh, hiding, either restricting uh, their emotional symptoms and their mental illnesses for fear of either being ridiculed, made fun of, or other things like that. The charity ADA sees this and seeks to further research towards anxiety and depression, and their promise is to find new treatments that will one day prevent and cure anxiety. They also want to cure depression, OCD, PTSD, and co-occurring disorders. The ADA improves the quality of life for those um, who suffer through these. They also want to help through evidence-based educational resources, professional practice, and scientific research. They have publicly released tax forms found in the ADA website from the year 2023 that show that they have had expenses totaling $1,533,665 for conferences and other professional education, public outreach, and education. They'll have also paid for professional membership, all for the sake of advancing research in the field of mental health. Uh, this speech about depression, anxiety, and the important role of the ADA in helping you requires your help and support, as I said before. Since the ADA benefits from donations to help their cause, they require the support of the public and the people in it. To help us with anxiety, we need to help them, obviously, so they can further the research and maybe even find out new things about anxiety. Anxiety and depression are very important issues that affect so many people in the society. As I said, they're caused by either personal issues that are only exacerbated by cultural ideas, and the ADA seeks to help those suffering from anxiety disorders and other mental illnesses. Like I said before, I've seen people go from the darkest moments in their lives to living a happy, fulfilling life. You can do it too. I believe in you. You are not a burden. You will never be a burden. Sophie Turner. This quote shows that anybody with anxiety and depression can get the help that they need, and that they are not alone and have assistance from every corner.